Have you ever met someone who just made you feel off? Like something wasn't right, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it? That feeling? It's not random. There's actually a whole field of psychology dedicated to understanding how people manipulate, control, and influence others. And today, we're diving deep into it. Let's start with the big one: gaslighting. Picture this. You're in an argument. You know what you saw. You know what was said. But the other person looks at you and says, "That never happened," with total confidence. No hesitation. And slowly, you start doubting yourself. That's gaslighting. It's not just lying. It's making someone question their own reality. Therapists see this pattern in abusive relationships all the time. The manipulator creates a version of events that makes the victim feel crazy. And over time, the victim stops trusting their own memory entirely. Now here's what makes it dangerous. Gaslighting doesn't start big. It starts small. You're too sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. Little comments that chip away at your confidence. By the time you realize what's happening, you're already dependent on the manipulator to tell you what's real. Let's move to something even more calculated. Love bombing. You meet someone new. Within a week, they're texting you constantly, sending gifts, saying things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone." It feels amazing, like you've finally found someone who truly sees you. But here's the thing. Real connection takes time. When someone rushes intimacy that fast, it's not love. It's a strategy. Clinical psychologists call it idealization. The manipulator puts you on a pedestal, makes you feel special, builds your dependency, and then the pedestal disappears. Suddenly, the texts stop. The compliments turn into criticisms, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. You try to get back to that initial high, and that's exactly what the manipulator wants, because now they have control. Now let's talk about something most people don't even realize is manipulation: the silent treatment. There's a difference between needing space and weaponizing silence. When someone needs a break, they say so. "I need an hour to cool down." That's healthy. But the silent treatment? That's punishment. The manipulator goes completely quiet. No explanation. No response. They just disappear. And you're left spiraling. What did I do? Are they mad? Should I apologize? Here's what's happening psychologically. Humans are wired for connection. Silence triggers the same brain regions as physical pain. So when someone uses silence as a weapon, they're literally causing you distress. And when you finally break and apologize, even if you did nothing wrong, they've won. Let's talk about projection. This one's sneaky because it looks like concern. Your partner suddenly accuses you of flirting with other people, but you're not. They are. A coworker constantly says you're being competitive and aggressive, but you're not. They are. Projection is when someone takes their own unacceptable feelings and attributes them to you. It's a defense mechanism. By accusing you, they avoid confronting themselves. But it has a secondary benefit for the manipulator. It puts you on the defensive. Now you're spending energy proving your innocence instead of noticing their behavior. And here's the final one. This is the foundation all the others are built on: intermittent reinforcement. Imagine a slot machine. You pull the lever. Nothing. Pull again. Nothing. Third time. Jackpot. Your brain floods with dopamine. That rush of "maybe this time" is what makes gambling addictive. Now apply that to a relationship. Sometimes they're warm, loving, present. Other times, cold, distant, unreachable. You never know which version you'll get. And that unpredictability? It's addictive. Behavioral psychologists have studied this for decades. Variable reward schedules create the strongest habits. That's why people stay in toxic relationships. They're not weak. They're chemically hooked on the occasional good moments, waiting for the next jackpot. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. These tactics work because they exploit fundamental human needs. The need to be believed, the need to be loved, the need for connection. Knowing these patterns exist doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you protected. Because the moment you can name what's happening, it loses its power over you. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of why we do what we do.